Back to the news at 10. 74 of the 85 South Africans who died in the Synagogue building collapse have been received by government and families of victims at a formal funeral ceremony at the Waterkloof Air Force Base near Pretoria. Present at today's ceremony were South Africa's Deputy President Cyril Ramaphosa, ministers, affected family members, as well as the Nigerian High Commission officials. Our correspondent Betty Dibia reports from Pretoria.
Two aircraft bearing 74 bodies of the victims arrived here at the Waterkloof Air Force Base in Pretoria, received by the Deputy President of the Republic, Mr. Cyril Ramaphosa, the Interministerial Task Team, as well as eager family members from various provinces who have been waiting here in Pretoria since Saturday. 74 bodies out of 85 came back, packed in 4 forensic services trucks. A day the affected families have yearned for 2 months and dreaded as it approached. Some held pictures of their loved ones at the ceremony, the nation's flag lowered. The Deputy President, Cyril Ramaphosa, joined the reception much later in the day, where he told the grieving families that the nation shares in their grief and hopes the dead can now rest in peace in the country of their birth. He emphasized that the ties between Nigeria and South Africa remain solid as both countries collectively mourn. Present also were Nigerian High Commission officials and a high-level delegation from the Synagogue Church. Families have been advised not to view the bodies owing to their states of decomposition, but this may be hard to heed given the funeral norms and culture in the country. Special Envoy Jeff Hadebe thanked Nigeria for its cooperation towards the repatriation process, but says he hopes the remaining 11 bodies will be returned soon so that the remaining families will begin their process of healing. Of the 116 people that died in the incident, 85 were South African. 25 wounded were evacuated on the 22nd of September, and many of them say they will return to the Synagogue Church in Lagos whenever they can. Moving to the death march paid by the police band, the bodies were transported to the various provincial mortuaries for retrieval and burial by their families. It definitely wasn't the plan for these pilgrims to come back in body bags, but then, as it is said, fate writes the milestones of life as their families deal with their loss, multiple in some cases, and try to get some closure. Many are still waiting, eager to find out why what happened. From the Waterkloof Air Force Base in Pretoria, South Africa, Betty Dibia, Channels Television News.
Well, back home, the National Youth Service Corps has launched a healthcare pilot scheme facility for rural dwellers in Kwara State. Medical practitioners among the Corps members, such as doctors, pharmacists, dentists and nurses, are being mobilized to provide some free medical services to communities without health facilities. Director General of the agency, Brigadier General Johnson Adewumi, says a program aimed at improving healthcare delivery in the rural areas is to be replicated nationwide.
It's probably the first of its kind in Kwara State, where members of the National Youth Service Corps will be providing free Medicare in rural communities devoid of proper healthcare services. Tagged the NYSC Health Initiative for Rural Dwellers, the scheme first launched Igboru community in Ifelodun local government area of Kwara State is designed to mobilize volunteer medical corps members, including doctors, nurses and pharmacists, to provide weekend healthcare intervention services to the rural dwellers.
This, we believe, will move well-meaning organizations and individuals to support the local community development and other life-enhancing programs of the scheme through funding and support.
According to the NYSC Director General, the program is to serve as a model that will be replicated in other parts of the country.
Large percentage of Nigerians especially who live in the rural areas, do not have access to health care, good health care. So we decide to choose communities that don't have any form of health facility, that are far away from health facilities, where we can come, bring health care to their doorstep.
The Kwara State government appreciates the anticipated benefits of the program and assures the people of its readiness to partner with the NYSC.
Expectation that the program will go a long way in implementing efforts as state government in bringing health care services to every youth and community of our state.
This part of the program is the first of the kind in our locality, and it will remain forever in our mind.
Providing quality health care for rural communities has been a perennial challenge for the government. The Kwara NYSC's model, if effectively implemented, might just be the viable solution.
There's a bag of mixed feelings among electricity consumers in Nigeria. In Kano, residents and business owners say the power supply has improved tremendously after the privatization of the Power Holding Company of Nigeria, while those in Ondo State are still groaning under the total blackout. Our committee report tonight focuses on how the people deal with the mixed feelings in light of the present situation.
The hustling and bustling of activities around the Kano metropolis. Business activities do not look dull here. Small-scale entrepreneurs in different fields of business are having a business boom without the noise of the power-generating sets, a usual scenario in most Nigerian communities. They seem to be having faith in the electricity distribution company in the state after a year of running under the privatization process.
Now, we are getting 6 to 7 hours, as against 2 hours in the last 2 months. You can also see that I have ironed most of the clothes here.
Before now, I could only work at night when there is light. But now you can see I'm working in the middle of the day because there is light. We only hope it will continue this way.
The Kano Electricity Distribution Company says 7 out of the 13 national integrated power projects have been completed and has managed to secure a total installation of 828.7 megawatts to serve its customers. This comes at a cost to be paid by consumers.
People are going to pay more in order to get the level of service they require, because the current tariff levels are definitely low, and the tariff are supposed to, at least they have 2 components to the tariff. One, you have the energy cost and also the fixed charges. And we could recover our investment through fixed charges, because the energy costs are, it's a variable cost. You understand? You can't do anything, and they are determined. They are predetermined. So this is the amount of money we also pay. But the way we recover our investments and our return is through these fixed charges that the consumers pay.
For residents of Akure, the Ondo State capital in the southwest, perhaps paying more for electricity consumption may be an option they may subscribe to if only there is supply. Businesses here have had to depend on the generating sets for some time now, even as residents groan over power outage in the town. Only the street lights powered by the government's generating plant brightens up some parts of the state.
The per liters of fuel I do spend on this generator you see over there, almost 10 liters. You see that is not easy. The way they are bringing bills to us is too bad. You understand? It's like what they are giving us, they are taking much from us. So in that aspect, they are punishing us somehow. So the lights, even though they bring it, we will see its use. When a month runs out, they will bring high bid to us, and they will be forced to pay it.
How can you imagine a whole state for good 1 week plus and there's no light? All commercial activities has been paralyzed. Nobody knows what the reason is. I was told that lightning destroyed a particular something at Oshogbo. I heard that it's going to be for almost 3 months. How can you imagine 3 months of hell? Torture. It's frustrating.
The business manager at the Akure office of the Benin Electricity Distribution Company, Mrs. Abiodun Adefemi, who refused to speak on camera, claims a fault has been detected at the Oshogbo station in Osun State, still in the southwest region. She says the engineers of the company are working to rectify the fault. Since the privatization of Nigeria's electricity company, not a few complaints have been raised by consumers, and notable of all is the poor supply of power, and sometimes no supply at all, a regular tale under the Power Holding Company of Nigeria. Loretta Chiogo, Channels Television News.
And now to the arts. The 5th edition of the Lagos Photo Fiesta showcased photographers who worked across Africa to use their images to define a new continent in the 21st century. The pictures are more conceptual, with performative strategies that push the boundaries of traditional approach and techniques in photography. Our Review tonight takes a look at this Lagos Photo Fiesta. Enjoy.
It's been the norm since 2010, a one-of-a-kind project in Nigeria, organized by the African Artist Foundation, AAF, determined to create a space for photo artists to continue to meet to tell the African story loud and clear through pictures. The works take one on a visual journey through the length and breadth of a big, strong and beautiful continent, capturing the people, the places and the practices, showing colorful scenes and thought-provoking emotions, which creates a platform for discussion. This series explores Makoko, a slum community in Lagos sited by the lagoon. In the 18th century, it was just a fishing village, but it grew way beyond that, now as stilts are built on water for shelter. This historic site was to be turned to a prime waterfront. The news didn't go down well with the residents here. The Makoko story has intrigued many photographers who still feel the urge to bring this tale here.
Makoko is maybe where all the photojournalists, Western photojournalists, come to take the beautiful picture of poverty in Africa. And it's a very aesthetical place, and so it's very easy to take the cliche from Africa. And I really wanted to document this place, including the religion, including the beliefs, including the hopes and the fears of the people that live in Makoko. And I decided to use this book that has a lot of content and a lot of references also from the Beninese that normally live in Makoko, because there's a big community of Benin and Voodoo and so on. So just try to describe the place more in an emotional place, in an emotional point of view, than rather, oh, this is beautiful and these people are poor, and then that's what Africa is.
The men behind the lens were set to stage reality and document fiction as contemporary photographers working in Africa that told the line between photography and truth, incorporating conceptual practices and performative strategies that break the norm. As a window to the world, these images stir up emotions by capturing the complex social and political concerns that define a new Africa in the 21st century.
Still ahead of the news at 10, U.S. hostage Abdulrahman Kasig reportedly killed by ISIS. Please stay with us.